Hiya John, lovely to meet up with you on the range yesterday and do some further work on your game. Things are progressing nicely. It would take a little look at you first of all from face on. Based on the last session, foot flow is much better, both feet turned out approximately 15 to 20 degrees. Stance is much better as well, a little bit more stacked and over the top of it, and a little bit less kinked back than you were the first time we met. Little bit of spine tilt at setup is not a bad thing with your driver. That allows us to hit out at the golf ball for longer and also gives us a little bit of launch trajectory as we go. If we take a little look at the swing itself, the idea last time was to introduce this standing up piece in your golf swing, and the idea was to make a feeling that you were making the high jump, and you can see there now you're making a beautifully stacked backswing. No move off it now, no maintaining your forward flexion, nice and centered, and then this first move down here, fantastic. We can maybe move forward a little bit more, but to be honest with you, as the rest of the swing improves, that will improve along with it. Really nice position coming into impact. Wrist breakdown a little bit on the way through, but there's reasons for that we'll come to a little bit later. So really everything we're seeing there is a compensation for the piece of the swing that we now need to work on. But overall improvements on the first visit you made in regards to the idea of staying centered, doing the Frosbury flop if you will, doing the high jump on the way back to give you the feeling of extension. If we take a look at you now from down the line, we see where one or two of the problems are still lying. Even though we now extend better, during the backswing at this point now, what's going to happen is the shoulders are going to begin to level up, and rather than the left shoulder working down and across, it starts to lift. So you can see the left shoulder's on the red line, and the shoulder starts to lift. As the shoulder stops working down, so we lose left tilt, we're forced up. Put a little line on your head there. Gain height, and as well as gaining height, we've now lost our inclination to the ground. So the red line's showing where we were at setup, the amount of tilt we had forward towards the ball, and if we compare that to where we are now, we've stood up, but we haven't left tilted enough to compensate for that. So there's three things happening in your golf swing which we'll come on to when we look at the centre screen. From that position now, the arm swing gets very flat. From that position now, we're going to struggle to get back to the ball properly. We're stuck a little bit on the inside, and the only way we can get that club back on plane is by rolling that right forearm too early. So from a very upright position coming into it here, the right arm and the right wrist start to extend and uncock too soon, shifting the swing to the left, resulting in a little bit of an erratic shot pattern and this broken down left wrist look as it comes in. So wrists uncocking too soon, forearms rotating too early to make up for the stood up look as we're coming into impact here. We've just got to try and get the club back online. Unfortunately, we're doing it the incorrect way. So we're definitely turning, we're definitely extending, standing up, and what we need to do now is left tilt sufficiently to compensate for those two movements, or particularly standing up. And the drill we did to isolate this, because one of the things you said is, well, you don't feel like you're standing up. So if we take a little look at you here, just isolating the moves, initial start position, and what we're going to do now is first of all we're going to stand up. So you're definitely standing up, we can see that there. We're then going to turn, and now we're going to left tilt. Now we're back into our original inclination. So we take a line, put that where we have it now, and we take you back to your address position. The yellow line is your inclination to the ground. As you go through that routine, you stand up, you turn, And bodily now, this is all looking very familiar. Stand up and a turn. And the difference between the position you're in and the position we would like you to be in is the amount of left tilt. And remember, your left tilt now is towards the ball because you've turned through 90 degrees. And as you left tilt, you go back into the inclination that you originally had. So in order to maintain your inclination to the ground, you have to do three things. You have to turn, stand up, and left tilt. It's the left tilt that offsets the extension that you worked on in your previous session. So the difference between this screen here and the position we want you in is the degree of left tilt that's put in. So the left shoulder works down more for longer. That allows you to maintain your inclination to the ground. If you can do that, the arm plane will lift. We'll be less stuck underneath it coming into impact. And as a result, we'll be able to keep the hands quieter through the hit area. Good luck with it, and I look forward to speaking with you again real soon. Well done.